we're going to continue where we left off. Alette marches quietly alongside the caravan, a little distance since she lived leaving the village. When you stop for a rest, Oddleif approaches you both. Alette, I have something for you. Oddleif has gathered up the long banner from the caravan and smiles warmly as she passes it to Alette. What's this about? I was hoping you'd swap the banner with everything that has happened since we left Skoger. Come find me another time, Rook, and we'll talk. Before you can comment, she departs. Dad, are you the chieftain now? It looks that way. Oh, then that means you're both quiet for a moment while Alette unfurls the banner. Oddleif has been teaching me how to sew. She speaks pretty highly of you. Can we read the part about Mom? You nod. On the banner has been sewn the story of the families who have lived in Skoger throughout the years, just as it's done on every banner in every town. I wish she was here, but I'm kind of glad she isn't. The section of banner about your family is short, but Alette has been sewing in colorful designs. Why do you say that? So she doesn't have to deal with all of this dredge, leaving home, and why'd you have to kill those men in the village? I mean, if it's okay to ask. They would have killed others, but how do you know which ones are bad? Because the dredge are terrifying. Every time we have to fight them, I just want to run, but I don't want to kill a person. Please, are you mad at me? You might have to someday. I guess I would do it if I really had to, but do we have to? I know what you mean. Yeah, I know, Dad. I think you're doing a good job. She hugs you. You spend the rest of your time together, sewing new verses into the banner. For better or worse, the story of Skoger is your burden now. How are you doing, Odd? I'm alright. Not at first. Sometimes when a loved one dies, people say it doesn't sink in for a while. It sunk in for me right away. People tell me I'm a strong woman. It's funny. My father named me Oddleif before I was even born. He wanted a boy so badly. Strong woman? What does that even mean? I never cared for that expression. I feel nothing about my husband dying. People think I'm strong. If I cry because my insides feel like they're on fire, I'm weak. Why does that feel so backwards? I'm sorry, Rook. It's been hard. I'm not sure what to say. In the many years you've known the chieftain's wife, this is probably the most you've ever talked. You asked me to come find you. It's about the banner. I thought about it a long time. He asked me to give it to you, you know, if something happened. Why me? He always depended on you, Rook. It should be mine. I could carry it, but I thought about why he named you. I get it. They won't follow a woman. Families would leave. Our banner would be divided. I vouch for you. Come on, Rook. This isn't the time for pretend. It's not about our small town. What happens the first time we need something from another clan? How will that go? And the first time someone thinks they can take advantage of us? I think this is what has to happen. I'll do my best. I think so too. Listen, I know I dragged this out. The truth is my husband and I could never have a child. I don't want our banner to end here. It'll be safe with you and Alette. I know you're going to take care of her. She puts her hand on your shoulder as she heads back to the camp. Great morale. small split in the trail. A few fighters stop to speak with you, each carrying a single pack. We recognize this place, one man says. Spent several years here with some kin. If they're still around, we have to warn them of what's coming. With luck, we'll find you again in less than a week. Remind everyone that they're free to do as they please. You thank the men for coming to you, but raise your voice for everyone to hear. We all make decisions for ourselves and our families. We're all free to do what we must. Agreement echoes throughout the caravan as a small group of men take their leave. Complaints of Raftsfarters' excessive drinking have resurfaced. This time, the men stumbled over some tent ropes, pulled the snag caravan canvas through a campfire, nearly setting a supply wagon aflame. Climbed up and put out the fire on both the wagon and the Raftsfar's leg before leading up to you. This man drinks nothing but water from now on. Raftsfarver groggily agrees, slurring his way through promises to quit being such a nuisance. Many of the onlookers snort or roll their eyes, but go back to their business. Sometimes you think it'll be long before he finds another drink, whether you're allowed or not. Perhaps I'm being too lenient on it.
Once a strong, thriving city, the walls of Frostweather now just keep the howling winds at bay. With luck, they'll hold out against Dredge as well.
You jostle through the fallow crowds of sunken faces who appear as though they've been freezing in Frostweller for days. The gates are closed. You come to a stop at the bottom of the hill. This is not looking good. Why are there so many people in the fields? We can't stay outside in the open like this. Oddly finds you among the many refugees. Rook, I just talked to some of the women here. Nobody's being let into the city. Why? It's overrun with Varl from Blotz, Belker, Greyhorn, people from Bidra, all the nearby villages. The Dredge are everywhere. And the chieftain of Frostweller has locked himself in his great hall. That's when they close the gates. When the Dredge come, these halls will turn red. We have to get in there. Where else could we go? With our whole caravan? South, but Sigerholm or Barsgard are so far away that they may as well be horseborn lands. Excuse me. The Dredge are moving south. If we keep going west, we might get out of their path. Wormtoe is half as far as Sigerholm and full of Varl. And across the waste, these people won't make it. I don't like any of these ideas. That's because they're all bad. There's no point talking about leaving. We have to get in there. I can get that gate open. Let's see if there's any other way before we start breaking down gates. I wasn't going to break it. Just push really hard. Market. Let us buy some more supplies. Nothing here really looks like it's worth, well, maybe the obsidian ring, but it's so expensive. And why, might as well. I'm not using my renown anyway, might as well use it for buying stuff. Excuse me. This is why I wasn't recording earlier. I sound terrible. Ivor's injured for another 2 days yet. I don't know who or why I can't record this. Okay. Well, I bought this ring for no reason then. Excuse me. Right. Let's get into the gate. You approach the gate where hundreds of people have gathered in the trodden, bloody space in front of the doors. Several pin-cushioned bodies lie unclaimed. Unclaimed as though they simply belong there. I need to check to see if this footage is actually recording any good, so I'm going to take a break here.